guys, welcome back to the Cake Lady podcast. Sorry, I gotta put my seat back. Today we are sitting down with the members of Atlanta is Burning. They're gonna be here in a few minutes, and stay tuned till the end for one of their songs. I'm still deciding. And also, I have a whole lineup of interviews this month, so definitely keep an eye out for Saturday posts or later because I'm having some issues with some stuff. What else was I going to say? Stay tuned on Tuesday for Band of the Week and Thursday for Song of the Week. And next Saturday for my next podcast post. Okay, Atlanta is Burning is going to be here in a few minutes. And if you haven't, go follow them on all of their socials. Me on all of my socials. And if you have a cake request or an interview request, just hit me up and I will squeeze you in. Alright, I will see you guys in a few minutes with Atlanta is Burning.
Nice.
Yeah, you might hear some outside noises. I'm sitting outside a concert right now.
Okay. Who are you playing? Who are you seeing?
Wings of Severance.
Oh, yeah. Down at the WC?
Yep. I gave them the cake.
Oh my gosh. It was very interesting. I was telling my wife I really wanted to go see that show. And I was like, I got this interview I got to do.
Yeah, right.
So if this interview ends, I may end up just going down there.
If I would have known, I mean, you and I could have just sat in here, and the rest of them could have been out in here.
Oh, there we go. Oh, see.
Now we're doing this wrong. Oh well.
I mean, we all got together for it at least. I was the one that was like, yeah, we can all just join in. It'll be fine.
Should just all get on there.
Yeah. Especially with Wings of Severance, dude. Those guys are so great.
They are good.
I really want to just go down there and crash their show.
Did you see their new drummer?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Fool's Brew shirt too.
You guys can introduce yourselves and say what you guys do or play in the band.
Go ahead. Start. Al, guitar. Andy, guitar.
Keith, I play drums and sing.
Rob, I do the RAR.
Carly and I play the bass.
Woohoo! Okay. Can I get the backstory on how you guys met, how the band came to be?
Who wants to?
Craigslist.
Craigslist. There you go.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, yeah, Craigslist.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of in between there.
Did you guys have auditions and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had some auditions.
For sure. Well, it started off kind of with me and Andy actually.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of jamming, just the two of us. And we kind of got started. We're like, well, shit, man. We don't know anybody in the area. Let's just put out a Craigslist ad. And then I believe Al, you came first.
Yeah,
you were the first one. And then
Carlene.
Carlene showed up after. And then of course, long story short with our lead singers, but Rob came about 5 years later.
About 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
5 years
So it'd be
ago.
about 5-6 years later. Yeah. I mean, we had prior singers before that, but things just happened the way they happened. And then Rob joined up in what, 2018?
2018, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now I'm the reigning champion.
Just in time for
The reigning champion, the longest, yeah.
Okay. Do you guys... Okay, so with Craigslist, I know there's a lot of horror stories. Did you guys have a weird or terrifying encounter with someone who came to audition?
No, not really. I guess there were never really no strange experiences with people that I can recall. There was wasn't there a guy that he showed up and then
he wanted to use it as a stepping stone. Is that the one?
No, yeah.
I'm thinking years ago. Anyways, there was a guy that showed up and I think he was there. He was still at the band room an hour after we left. He didn't have a ride or something. Yeah. And we were just like, what are you hanging around for? And he's like, well, I don't have a ride. So I don't know. It was just kind of a weird vibe, but yeah, really nothing too crazy.
No, we really had a lot more of it. Was just a lot of people that were just, it's like, hey, I'm responding to a Craigslist ad that, I want to be in a band. And it's like, well, first you can sing. There's the two types of folk. One that are talented, but they're just really not a fit for our band. Like we had this one singer come out and like she wanted to kind of maybe do this Evanescence style thing. Beautiful singer. She was literally like a teacher at a school and like taught choir and shit at a school, and her voice was beautiful, but it's just like the way she sang did not really fit what we were looking for.
That was when you and I were there.
Yeah.
She kept saying, I'm a master at Taekwondo, just so you guys know.
Yeah, she was a little weird about that. Yeah, she made some comments, and I'm just like, wow, like, how do you really feel? Like, I'm sorry if we give off that vibe, but like, we're just sing, please.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then we had some other people that would try out, and that were more. How do I put it? They're just because your mother says that you're good doesn't necessarily mean that you're good. And I mean, none of the people, I don't even remember the names of those particular applicants, but but we've had many other ones that were just like, okay, like good, talented people. And then they just kind of know, like they'd call, they're like, yeah, let's do it. And then they just wouldn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that actually, more of that than anything else.
Right. Where it's just like great interest. I really want to do it. I'm super excited. Everything's great. And then you're just like, okay, cool. Well, let's meet up then. And they just ghost you.
They ghost you. Yeah.
And you're like, great. What is this? Fucking a dating site or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, even though you just met on Craigslist, would you say you're like pretty close as a band?
Well, after 10 years now, I'd say that we've grown
it's
together.
Over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been
it's more than 10 years.
I'd say it's been 2011. It was like November.
No, 2010 we got together.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Originally.
Our first show was like November.
Yeah, but we
2011.
met in 2010.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So
13 years later.
13 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know each other pretty well.
Be close.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
We've been to each other's weddings and divorces
and
everything else in between.
Right.
Yeah.
Childbirths.
Right. You hang out with somebody once or twice a week, and you just kind of see some shit.
Never been like a point in like throughout these, long years. Has there ever been a point where you're just like, man, I just, need a break for a minute?
Yeah, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happens. And we were kind of lucky we got a break during COVID because I think we were really burnt towards the end of that time. Mm-hmm. Like we had been working nonstop, working on new music and stuff like that. And just, so it kind of came at the right time, gave us a little break. And then we came back, we felt pretty re-energized. Mm-hmm. And it has taken some time to kind of get back into it again, but things are feeling much better in that way. So.
Well, and then there was also times before that too, where like when you're first getting started and you don't have a name for yourself, you don't have a reputation or any sort of draw in the community or anything, and you're just like, hey, we'll play whatever. We're gonna play any show. Just give us anything. Yes, we'll play on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. Don't care. I'm gonna call off work and I'll be there. And it's like, and you would just play anything given to you because you weren't offered anything. So it was just beggars can't be choosers, and we did that for probably 4 years.
Yeah.
Before finally we were just like, man, we're oversaturating our audience and we need to just calm down. But it helped us gain contacts and really just kind of people understood like, hey, you guys show up. You don't make running the show difficult. You show up, you do your thing, you play well. Like, so that was just kind of, we hit a point though where we're like, all right, we need to just kind of throttle down a little bit.
Chill out a bit.
So fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But kudos to those people who keep chugging, who just don't stop. Like that, I respect that more and more.
I cannot imagine that. Like the constant.
Oh yeah. You're on the road. I mean, like guys like Hatebreed, where it's like you were on the road for 8-9 months a year, and that's just life. And then you go home, you write new music, and then you're back on the road again. And it's just like, dude, you do that for like 20 something years.
It's gotta get old.
Like, gosh, man. I mean, kudos, dude. Those people,
for sure,
lifers like that. That's hardcore.
I get tired if we play too many shows too close together.
Because you're bloodline.
It's like, guys, I got a house to take care
of. So, like, on that note, what do you guys think about? So, you see, like, sometimes a band has to cancel a show, and like when the bigger bands do it, the fans like flip out. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, there's some...
on local. What you mean on bigger bands doing it, or on bands that we play with?
Yeah, because like I just saw, I don't remember who it was. They had to cancel a show because they weren't feeling well, and like all the fans were like just attacking the band.
Oh, I think that's when Andy Biersack got COVID, and Black Veil Brides had to cancel a bunch of shows.
Yeah. And I mean, that stuff happens. I mean, to me, I mean, I understand the initial knee-jerk reaction to it, but then again, I also understand that, like, everybody calls in sick to work.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, tell me one person that's not guilty of like, man, I just literally don't feel like going to work today.
That was me on Thursday.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? And these people, like, they're not only just going to work, but they're also traveling constantly. So they're exposed to so many people and places and things, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's like
jumping around every day, like.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so I don't hold them too tight. To me, it's the only time that I guess I would call that I would judge someone for it is when they say, sorry, we can't play the show because we lost our laptop. I'm sorry. It's like, suck it up, go out there and just play the music the best you can. Like, I mean, I've seen guys go up there and they're like, literally play one song, and they're like, hey, so my doctor said I can literally only do one song without ruining my voice. Here's my backup, bro. He's going to do the rest of the set. I'm really sorry, but like, I appreciate you guys understanding. And then he hands it off to the next guy, and the next guy does the rest of the set. You know, and it's just like, okay, like you came out and at least performed once, but it's like, you got to overcome some adversity, you know, while not completely just going, whatever.
Yeah. So where did the name Atlanta is Burning come from?
Well, our first vocalist was really into like old Hollywood and like Vivian Leigh and Tallulah Bankhead and stuff like that.
Actresses from the movie Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, and in the movie Gone with the Wind, there's a scene where Atlanta is burning. So that's kind of where the name comes from.
Right. Where the North invades and then they're burning the city to the ground, and it's like a very dramatic, like they're gonna die, they have to get out, and they're like taking this horse cart while one of them's like, she's pregnant and giving labor while she's laying in the back, and they're dragging her out of a burning city. And it was
we actually went to a theater. There was a theater in Joliet that had Gone with the Wind playing once. So we all went and saw it.
Yeah, we all had to get together and be like, all right, we got to go watch this in the theater as a band, you know. How were those drinks? Yes, they didn't refill your fucking drink.
Free refills.
No,
Andy was
I was so angry.
And you didn't even get the extra large, like the big one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it, you pay $8 or whatever it is for the cup. Let me refill it. Come on.
Fucking $8, dude. God.
You want to know what grinds my gears?
$8.
All right.
$8.
That's enough.
That's why you're drinking your own alcohol.
Yeah.
So who would you say who or what would be your biggest influence in your music?
Can we answer this individually?
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Okay.
Well, then start with Carl, I guess.
Jeez, you gotta give me a moment to think about it.
I know, right?
I would say my influence is just all the years of playing in bands and everything I've learned along the way, and what I feel works and what gets me excited to play. I want to be excited about what I'm playing. And I feel like we truly all pitch in this band to be able to express ourselves individually. So that's what excites me about this, is being able to give into it and then watching the finished product come out. So
for me, it's the thing that excites me the most about
she said influences.
What are our influences?
My influence is my past.
I mean, my influence is, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, it's Dan and Joe from Consume the Divide.
Wait a minute. You mean it's not going to be under oath and whatever emo you warm up to in the car?
Shush. But I got to say, those two dudes, because I completely hung up doing music for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And then every time I'd go to one of their shows, they'd shove a microphone in my face or call me up on stage.
They would keep you in
and be like, hey, we're just trying to show you that you've still got it. Don't quit. So, just huge shout out to Dan and Joe from Consume the Vibe. That's probably my biggest influence there.
Wow. I guess I'll take I'll take a nod to you where you called two people. I would have to say two of my biggest influences. Number one would be Matthew Greiner, and that is from August Burns Red. That was especially earlier in my when I was really kind of just cutting teeth and getting back into metal, and because I played punk rock for a long time. And then other than that, I would probably say the drummer Dan. Gosh, I want to say his name is Danny Carey, but I'm not exactly sure if that's right. But he's the drummer from After the Burial.
Danny Carey is from Tool.
Is that so? That is not right. Yeah. So I was kind of questioning myself. But no, After the Burial.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
No, Danny Carey is definitely Tool.
Yes.
Which is a very good drummer, and I have listened to his stuff, but I don't want to say it was heavily influential on my particular game, on my play. But yeah. And then so let's go with those two.
Yeah. I'm kind of all over the place. I've listened to everything from rap to progressive metalcore to like some 80s like new wave stuff. I don't know. I like so many things. I really don't focus on one thing.
There's no big like who helped you learn to play guitar the best?
Oh, okay.
What would you say really kind of gave you the most?
That came from like the early 2000s metalcore stuff. The initial stuff like Killswitch Engage, Unearth.
There you go. That's good.
There's a band called, they're not metalcore, there's a band called The Used. I learned to play a lot of those.
Oh my god, I love The Used.
High school.
Yeah. And so I, and trying to think, there was another one in there somewhere too that I really enjoyed. I can't at the time. I haven't listened to them in years. Oh, Finch. That's who they were.
Finch.
Does anybody know who Finch is?
Yeah. Finch.
I know The Bird.
The Bird.
Yeah, look up Finch. They're actually a really good band. They had a good album. It might have been one of the only albums they ever made. But it's kind of almost like emo punk stuff, but I just like the way it sounded.
If that's the thing. If it influenced your playing, that's what we're going for, right?
So yeah,
I could probably already guess Al's.
Yeah, I feel like I can guess.
Yeah, go on ahead, Al. Let's see. What music do you play flipping every practice?
So like, because I'm older, so I grew up with. What's that?
No, sorry.
Like Anthrax and Cannibal Corpse and Death and all that stuff. So
it's all still relevant. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cannibal
but
Corpse
they were
especially.
more.
They're still
more out there, releasing new stuff and
Right.
touring on their old stuff.
You color me surprised, Al.
Easy.
You did.
Yeah. He's another one. That
I don't even know why I was really expecting you to say Metallica.
Yeah, me too.
I was expecting to hear in Parkway Drive.
Metallica vibe.
So interesting enough, the first metal album I ever heard was Number of the Beast from Iron Maiden. Otherwise it was just Weird Al albums all the time.
Nice.
Weird Al.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I didn't like anything else.
It makes sense. Al liked Weird Al,
and then
he just turned into it.
And then I found that.
Sans accordion.
Like, what else is there? And then I found Slayer. Then I'm like, what else is there? Then Injustice for All was released, and back then, and
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
been that way ever since.
And now he's just like, hey, have you heard this new Mirror song?
I mean, my life was literally Linkin Park and Slipknot, and then one day my buddy put on the Black Dahlia Murder, and I'm like, the fuck? I like this.
Yeah.
I had a slow progression into metal. I mean, I grew up listening to all the dad bands, of course, and like I went into like a boy band phase in middle school, and my sister had the emo music, and then the one day she showed me Black Veil Brides, and I was like, I can get into this.
Nice.
It's a gateway drug.
There's always like one band. Yeah, for me, that band was Green Day when I was a kid. That somebody showed me Green Day, and I that's the first band I ever liked.
God, I wouldn't say that was the first one, but yeah, Green Day. Green Day was my gateway into punk rock.
When I
went to Pennywise, and then it was just game over after that.
Yeah, you start with one,
and I'm just like, give me skate punk all day.
I think it's so funny because like when I first got shown Black Veil Brides, I was like, I hate this. I can't stand this. But now that they make like dad metal, like they're one of the greatest bands I've ever heard. Like Emily's been showing me more and more of them, and I'm just like, what is this? Like they're good.
Yeah. Wow.
I have a problem where I
So
just like
you guys are the longest running band that I've done an interview with. So
Oh,
throughout the whole time that you've played music, have you ever like felt discouraged in the music scene, seeing like other people blow up?
I wouldn't say discouraged, to be honest. It's more of, I mean, is there a pang of envy? Sure, of course. Everybody was like, man, I really wish that could be me. But to be honest, especially people that we know, like friends of ours, like you want nothing more but success for your friends.
Yeah, and
Oh,
really, yeah, in the scene, it's like you don't want people, you don't want to like bring negative energy to people, and even if you do feel a little bit jealous, like it's not like you're gonna tell them about it, you know.
I mean, I do, but it's so
Yeah.
there's so much more.
How dare
just,
you
like,
blow up?
you see people,
Yeah.
you see people do it, and like I was literally telling a band last night, and you guys were there when I was talking with a band Burned in Effigy, and they practice in a room just down the way from us, and it's like I'm listening to their new shit that they haven't even released yet, and I'm watching the guy play it, and I tell him just like, man, you guys are so talented. Like I wish I could play this good. Like I was this proficient.
Like,
and like you guys take time to write and do all this stuff. And like they have same thing with Wings of Severance. I said the same thing with them, which actually Burned in Effigy is playing with Wings of Severance in August. But I just like these dudes they're so talented. They don't get the representation they deserve.
Yeah.
They don't get
I think that happens a lot. Like
and you see,
I follow a lot of bands and I see a lot of bands, and like sometimes I see like a band blow up and they're like terrible people. Oh my gosh. For like one good song. And then like I've followed a band since 2018. They didn't blow up until they released a cover of like, what was it? Yeah, by Usher. And I was like,
Oh, really?
see, they're blowing up not even for something that they wrote themselves.
well, you
Yeah.
never know what it's going to be. I mean, you can write music for a decade, and then it's like, oh, you did a one-off, and then that was the one that got picked up on TikToks, and then suddenly, boom, now you're the biggest
Something-
artist of this year.
yeah,
You know,
something
Hey, I'm not
about
gonna
that
lie
song.
though, without TikTok, I never would have found Bad Omens. Those dudes are great.
That's true. That
I haven't-
opens
I haven't
amazing.
done much yet.
I got to see them live last year. It was amazing.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
So speaking of
But,
songs, do you guys have any upcoming projects that you're going to release or planning to release?
Well, we're working on a new song right now. We released Legacy was our latest album, which we released 2 years ago almost now.
Yeah,
Wow.
And,
COVID kind of slowed stuff down. but
Yeah, that was actually supposed to come out in 2020 at some point.
Yeah, it was like May 5th, 2020 was the
and then
release
it
show.
got pushed back a year. But and really, I mean, we
I didn't
have
think it was ever gonna come out.
yeah.
I thought once COVID started, like I was like, well, I'm not a musician anymore.
it gave us time to polish it and go back and rework and whatever. But
Yeah.
But then there was definitely a lull. I mean, as COVID, like not only there's a lot of bands that didn't survive COVID, there's a ton of venues that didn't survive COVID. And so we were kind of just like coming back, like everybody changed their lifestyle. You know, we had a bit of a break where we literally didn't even meet for probably, I would say 6 to 8
6,
months.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't literally even see each
Other
other
than
face
when
to
I
face.
hid toilet paper at Costco.
And that was
Yeah.
that was deep COVID, you know. So really it was just kind of like during those 2 years, like we really kind of, well, you have the band going on and you have that in your life, and now that's a void, and you fill the void with doing other things. So you readjust your life and whatever. And so now it's like we've been trying to kind of push to get the ball rolling again. And as much as it's fun and exciting and eager, like you get back, and then it's like, okay, but the writing is the work. You know, it's fun to go out there and like you have a song, you just recorded it, it's great, let's release it. This is like this awesome, cool, like emotional thing that you're just like, okay, we created this thing, now go off into the world, child, find your way.
Yeah.
You know, and then just see
You
if people
got
like it or not, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's weird about that album. We because of COVID, we actually never really promoted it. So
No.
now it's old,
yeah.
But it's
It
really
feels-
new.
but it
feels
feels
but it's really new,
because
yeah.
it never
So-
got promoted. Never got
It's close enough to being new.
Right. So
Yeah.
we are working on new stuff. We were actually writing a new song last night.
We're working on
And we're it's just kind of in the how do I put it? We're just fleshing out like a bare bones skeleton of it. So then that way we can do some pre-tracking and recording and kind of start really fleshing it out and giving it life.
So speaking of getting the ball rolling, are you guys planning on playing a show soon?
Yeah.
We've got two coming
29th.
up, 3 technically, depending on how far forward you want to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, July 29th, we're going to be playing, and that'll be up at Back Bar in Janesville.
Yes. Yeah.
And then August 11th, we're playing in Tony D's in Elmwood Park.
Yeah.
Free show, come out.
Yeah,
That's a free
that'll
one,
be a free
yeah.
one, yeah. And
I like
and
free
then-
shows.
and
You guys
then,
can get a free cake.
And then what is it? September 27th?
29.
29th? Is it September 29th? We're
Yeah.
playing at Metal Monkey Brewing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's with Fool's Brew.
Yeah, that's actually.
Hey!
You're wearing a t-shirt.
I know. Yeah.
Well, like kind of like what we were talking about a little
So
bit.
I gotta
earlier.
show up there.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, when
Awesome.
we were asking about, like seeing other bands blow up, I think what upsets me more is watching bands that should blow up not blow
blow
up.
up.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
yeah.
like
That makes
watching,
me so mad.
Through and Wings
Yeah.
of Severance and
Yeah.
seeing people like standing there, and it's like,
Or,
how do you
yeah.
not see how good this
Or
is?
yeah, exactly. But but that's the thing. You don't see it. It's hard. I get the same feeling when bands that are just like they don't have much. They don't have much going on as a band. Like they have a couple good tracks, but they're more hype than they are anything else. You know, and it's just like, man, what do people see in this other than the hype train?
Yeah.
You know, is that they're literally just saying they're cool because everyone else is saying they're cool, and that's the only thing this band has.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely what gets me.
Yeah.
Where then you see extremely talented artists just kind of
I see extremely
hit a level
talented
and then they
artists
just
like
never go above
every
that.
week, and I'm just like, why is there not more people? Why are they not getting more traction?
Sure.
Because like I like it, I know a lot of other people who would like it too.
Sure. Oh yeah. But everybody has different tastes, and as well as
Yeah.
what they what they hear when they actually hear the music. I like to compare it to reading, where it's like listening to music is just like reading on a different reading level. And like, so like you go listen to like some, I don't know, Animals as Leaders or Periphery, like prog stuff, like cool, that's college reading level.
It makes sense
that
that the
is-
sad used to be gifted children are the people that are into metal now. I could say that I'm one of them.
Oh.
If you read it at 12th grade level in 3rd grade, you're sad now.
Oh man, yeah. You're God. Yeah.
Did you really?
If you were in
Wow.
advanced,
Yeah.
if you were in college math when you were in high school, you
my
probably
God.
have ADHD or depression at this
Oh
point.
my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Probably get really excited when Protest the Hero comes on.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay, that was all my questions.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for being on my podcast. I'm still
Yeah,
small,
you're
so
very
it
welcome.
makes me
Thank
happy.
you.
Yeah. Thank you for
any-
having us.
Any of you show up to the show tonight, come say hi.
All
All right,
right.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Definitely. Yeah. Depends
Have a
on
good
who
night.
Take
All
care.
right.
Have a good night.
I just realized I did not film an outro to that. Thank you guys so much again for listening today and joining me. That was Atlanta is Burning. Atlanta is Burning. Sorry, I'm like trying to be quiet. I'm at work right now. And tune in tomorrow. I forgot it was Wednesday. Tune in tomorrow for Song of the Week and stay tuned on Saturday for another wonderful episode. Trying to think if there's anything else I need. And thank you guys so much again for blowing up my Facebook follows. It means so much to me. And this is Evolution by Atlanta is Burning. Please go follow them on all their socials. And if you don't follow me, go do that. I am the Cake Lady Podcast everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Sorry. It's been such a hectic week. So, yeah, thank you guys again. And again, this is Evolution by Atlanta's Burning.